Welcome back to the Barry Charles Footy Show. What has happened in the world of rugby league over the Christmas period? Well, obviously, when you look at this, you're going to look at people like Sam Burgess. We've got Amone, we've got the salary cap, and so much more here at the Barry Charles Footy Show. Come smash the like button and go subscribe right there, right now, as we go through the week news here at the Barry Charles Footy Show. Obviously, firstly, Junior Amone. What the hell is happening here? Get out your hammers, guys, and smash up a car. Let's intimidate people. Is that what we want from society? Hell no. And this guy is looking to rip up his own NRL contract. Interesting to see how this goes. Obviously, he's going to go to a no-faults policy, but how long is this going to drag on for him? Disappointing for you Dragons fans because he was one of the stars on the rise. Will he ever play rugby league again? It's going to be interesting to see what happens in that space. A lot of people say he will, but we will find out about Junior Amone. But it's just craziness. Craziness. Every Christmas, something happens in the NRL. It just happens every year. There's not one year that nothing happens. It's just craziness. And there'll be more to come, I guarantee you. Obviously, Sam Burgess. Well, I'm not guilty, sir. No, not me. He's still got some independent, your best mate, to say you have a negative test. They all say that. Unfortunately for Sam Burgess, I think he just loves the Sydney life too much and just can't get out of the rat race of the big money earners and the highs they get from their drugs, unfortunately, and for the sufferance here for the Rabbitohs. Maybe it's not, maybe it's good riddance. But really, he has to really want to change himself, really, Sam Burgess. You can talk a good game, but really it comes down to what your actions are. And unfortunately for Sam Burgess, his actions have not delivered to his words. Obviously, the salary cap is the biggest one of this week here, with a 25% increase, which is pretty much gone to minimum wage players up to 120,000. I debate whether 120,000, do they need that much, to be honest? I mean, if you're an average worker, do you get that sort of money? I mean, they're not star players, to be fair dinkum. But good on them. Very good for them. Obviously, who's going to benefit most from that right now? There'll be players like Stephen Crichton that are off contract, looking for that big money payout. I think the West Tigers will come in at 1.3 million if they want him. Whether he's a fullback, I debate that. I think he's a centre, and you keep him at centre, so that they will drop my price to about 800k for him. But I think they're going to have to pay over $1 million, absolutely over $1 million, to get him over the line. And the Bulldogs are the other team that are looking at him. So it'll be interesting to see if he's going to go for lease. It'll be the Panthers, obviously, and then the Bulldogs wouldn't be far behind him, because I don't think they'd want to overpay for him. The only one team that would overpay would be the West Tigers. So it'll be interesting to see there. And speaking of West Tigers, John Bateman has arrived. Well, he hasn't arrived yet, but they keep saying he's arriving. But that will be a big signing, and the Tigers will get pushing towards the top 18. If they could add a Crichton or a few other players, then I would say absolutely a top 18. But they might just be missing the cusp. But again, they should be back on the improve again. Obviously, the women's salary cap also going up. That's very good for them. What about Josh Reynolds? This is an interesting one. Do you think he'll make the top 30? Do you think he'll even make the top 13? Will he make the starting squad? Will they put him at 7 and say, see you later to Kyle Flanagan? This is going to be an interesting one. Or he could play 14 as well. It's going to be an interesting phase here. Do they want to go with experience? But is Josh Reynolds going to be able to lead them around the park? That's probably highly debatable. So that'll be the question mark. But I believe he'll get a top 30 squad, because just to have him in the squad will be handy, especially if you do get an injury to Matt Burton. He'll just go straight in there. But whether he can really make the top 17, that's debatable. But he should be a positive influence around the club, and I think that's why they got him there. And I think you'll see him sign very soon. But it'll be interesting to see. He may not get signed, you never know. He might just end up being around the boys in a different capacity. That is the question mark of what the Bulldogs need to decide on what they believe of Josh Reynolds. What else do we need to look at? obviously, well, yes, obviously this happened a little while ago, but we have to talk about it. Jerome Luai. What's happening, mate, at your own best mate's wedding? Giving him absolute rubbish. But the question is, was he telling the truth? And that's what some people would believe. Was he really playing the fool while his wife was at home? That's the interesting question. But if it was all a joke, then really it was just ludicrous from Jerome Luai. But that's Jerome Luai, and people love him or hate him for it. But yeah, very questionable for me on Jerome Luai's part there, on saying that your best man's wedding speech is very, very bad taste. What else do we need to... The Rabbitohs, yes. Dad's Army, yes. The Rabbitohs, how old are they? They just signed Cody Walker and Damien Cook to long-term deals. Now, the rest of the squad might look like Dad's Army, but these two are Dad's Army. Now, you could argue both of these players are beyond their best. And last season they were nowhere to be seen, to be honest. Both of them. Absolutely both of them were just struggled. And I really do think the Rabbitohs have been good. This is maybe their last premiership window this season. I think after that, I think Cook and Cody Walker, they're going to be thinking the same as Anna Reynolds. We should have just signed them to 1 year deals. Because they're both out of form. And they could prove me wrong. They could absolutely prove me wrong. But I'm just a little bit worried that the second year syndrome for Lachlan Ilias is going to come up. Now, they keep making that thing, but this is the question mark. Can this team be derailed? It'll be up to Cody Walker and Damien Cook not to let age weary them. Now, it's nothing to do with age. It's about how you perform on the field. And their performance on the field was substandard last season. And they need to be a lot better going forward if you want to see the best out of the Rabbitohs. And well, obviously with all that news, what can we look forward to in the festive season? Well, obviously players are trying to get back from injuries. Like, are we going to see the best of Ryan Pappenhausen again? Like, obviously he just keeps getting injured. You got, well, we're still Christian Rouse just keeps getting injured. You got Tommy Talau. Can he finally make a return, or will he just be re-injured again? The Epon Tigers, a superstar on the rise and just never been able to fulfill that potential. It's going to be an interesting season. Obviously, Jackson Hastings to the Knights. Can he get them somewhere near the top 8? They're probably a 6 away from being a big chance of doing that. So and obviously, who's on the chopping block? Who's on the chopping block going into 2023? Well, Adam O'Brien, but it just seems that there's not much really talk, but Adam O'Brien has to be one of them. Justin Holbrook is probably under the most pressure. He's caught Anthony Griffin as well. They're the 3 big ones. There's obviously more, but those are the 3 that are really going to test their squads this season. So yeah, that's enough of the footy from me. I hope you enjoy your Christmas festivities, and we'll be back with plenty more videos. We're going to have got a lot more best 17s coming up for the squads for 2023, and then we're going to look at some other videos coming up, like the biggest hitters, the best entertaining 17s. So look forward to those videos coming up. Remember to smash the like button, and kick away the subscribe button so we can spread the world of rugby league all around the world. Take care.